Metro Atlanta's animal shelters are sounding the alarm. Record numbers of pets are being abandoned or surrendered, pushing local facilities past their limits. With us this morning, Tamika Artis with LifeLine Animal Project. Glad you're on the show. Thanks, Tamika.
Thank you so much for having me.
What's driving this surge in abandoned or lost pets right now?
Yeah, so we have seen a really large increase in the number of dogs in particular being surrendered to our shelters, about a 175% increase over this time last year. Our Fulton County shelter has had its largest increase in animals coming in since about 2017 when we started recording those numbers. What we're finding is that when people are struggling financially, our pets struggle. One of the things that I keep hearing from our intake officers is that housing continues to be an issue when people are getting evicted or there are breed restrictions in the places where they live. They have to give those animals up. And so they end up at our shelters. Another issue that we're finding is that a lot of lost animals are coming into our shelter. Last year, we broke some very concerning records with regards to the number of lost animals coming into our shelters, animals that have not been microchipped. And they don't have identification. So we don't know who they belong to. So a lot of those animals end up in our shelters, unfortunately.
A really important point you're making about the economics of whether people can afford just pet food if they're really struggling to put food on the table for themselves or their loved ones. Are you seeing any kind of shift in the kinds of animals being surrendered right now? More large dogs, specific breeds, anything like that?
That's a really good question. Typically, we wouldn't see as many smaller dogs, I would say, coming into our shelters. They typically go really quickly, but I'm seeing dogs of all sizes and types coming into our shelters right now. We're also getting a lot of cats right now, a 70% increase in cats coming into our shelters. That's also kind of unusual. Kitten season seems to be lasting a little bit longer each and every year. So when cats haven't been spayed or neutered, they do what they naturally do, they procreate. And if people don't get them fixed, they a lot of times will end up at our shelters as well.
70%. These numbers are really taking your breath away. What does it look like for the shelters when they're beyond capacity? How does that affect animal care and your entire staff?
Well, in addition to taxing our spacing issues, it really puts a toll on the staff. Our staff is so dedicated and committed to saving lives. We literally fall in love with these animals that come into our shelter. We care for them, we walk them, we love on them. We want the best outcome for them. And so when we have this many animals coming into our shelter and things start to look a little dismal, we get very concerned. We want to find homes and have positive outcomes for every single animal that comes into our care and into our shelters. And so it can be a very, very emotionally taxing situation for the staff as well as the animals that we're trying to care for.
Well, we appreciate you and your staff. Know you're working towards solutions, and anybody out there that wants to think about a donation, if you're in a position to do that, either financially or with adoption, we hope they'll consider that. Tamika, thank you for the update and for the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.